Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So today we're going to have one more session on SSIS utilities. So we have DTExec utility and we have DTUtil utility. So utilities means small applications, okay, small apps, and these two utilities or small apps will be installed whenever you install SSIS a newer system or whenever you install SQL Server in your system. So these are part of the installation itself, right? So what is that? These are the purpose of the utility. Let us understand. So we have DTExec is used to execute SSS package from command prompt or from SQL Server. And the DTUtil, the utility can copy, move, delete, or verify the existence of the packages, cannot be deployed to SSS catalog, and can be deployed to MSDB. So DTUtil is only for the MSDB database if you wanted to uh, do some kind of a deployments and all. But DTExec utility, it is for the executing the package. Okay, from the command prompt. So let us understand in depth. So how can we call the SSS package using command prompt? So if you have stored your package in a D drive or any other drive, so that means it is there in the file system, right? So using this application, you should be able to call like this, okay? But if it is installed in your SQL Server, that means your SSIS catalog, SSISDB, then you have to say /sq and the demo number one, you should not use the DTSX here. And server name is the SQL server name is the IP address or any other thing you have to give. My computer name is Gather, so I'm giving like this. Okay, do not use extension DTX when the package is in SQL server. Okay, so let me quickly go and take our packages. Okay, now let me go here, and I think we had taken a lot of packages and kept it in a folder called packages, right? So a lot of packages we have built in and we're keeping them here, right? So if you wanted to call any package, so these packages are available in the D drive. So that means it is what is called uh, deployment to the file system, or you can also deploy your packages to your SQL server, right? So that is when you go to system catalogs, integration services catalogs. So we are able to deploy the packages over there. Okay. So the packages can be here or packages can be in D drive or C drive, whatever you wanted to have. So let me uh, take the same thing and copy and do it for you. Let me have, I have something here. Let me open Notepad. Okay. So let me take one package. The package, let us say, create a folder with timestamp. Let me take this. So the path is this. Okay. And control C. Let me just go here and have the path. Okay. Now take this, copy, and go to start button and press CMD, command prompt. Okay. Go to start button, press CMD. You should be able to get this command prompt and you have to paste it. Okay. So now demo number 15, right? Let me go here and I have demo number 15. What it is doing, it is creating a timestamp folder, but where it is creating, let us understand. It's creating somewhere, right? So go to SSIS variables. We had given the path here. It is able to create in the D archive folder. Okay, so this is the timestamp folder it is creating. But ensure that you have, a D archive folder So you have to create a something. So like when I execute this, it has to create that. Okay, so it is done and could not load. Why it's not able to load that? The issue is that I have to give this. Okay, I forgot to give, and this is sorry, my mistake. So copy this once more and let me give this. Okay, now it is saying that DT SER success. Okay, it is able to create that when you go, and you should be able to get one folder like this. Are you getting? So, how can we deploy a package, and how can we execute the package? And this is the command we have to use. Okay, so DTExec, or this is not compulsory. You can also remove this. DTExec /f means the package is available in your file system. Okay, so you can also take like this and copy and let us run this show. Okay, it is able to success and there's no issue here. So when you go and see, you will be able to find one more timestamp. Are you getting? So like that, you should be able to use the same thing. But if I wanted to call the package using my stored procs, okay, so can I do that? The answer is yes. So you should be able to do that. So I'm using now stored proc, control C, and use company database. Okay, I wanted to create a stored proc and I wanted to call, okay, this one I wanted to call. Okay, so control C and I go there and control V. Okay, and single quotes you have to use. Now I'm calling, say, create a proc. So call SSIS package underscore, say, demo 15. I wanted to call this. And so this is how you should be able to create a procedure. And only you are giving is that whatever the command so far you have used. So this is the one you're giving it. And but within the single quotes, okay? And you're adding one more thing that is called XPCMD shell. What is XPCMD shell? Which is the extended stored procedure. I'll talk about this. Okay, when you execute this, you're able to create. So command completed successfully. And where is your proc created? The proc is created in your company database. When you go here, and let me go to my company database. Okay, and refresh, and you have tables views, and below you have programmability. So when you expand it, you should be able to find out your store procedures and your functions. Okay, store procedures and functions are available. Let me open these procedures and I am able to see my the call SSS package stored proc. If you wanted to see the code, you right click on it and click on modify. Okay, so this is what is the code which you have written just now. Okay, if you wanted to get back, you can get back. And since you said modify, it is able to give you alter means modifying, right? So here I have created, but how do I call the stored proc? For the calling the stored proc, we have to use execute, right? Execute, then we have to use stored proc name. The stored proc name is this, control C and control V. Okay, so whenever I execute, now it is saying, okay, it is saying whether it is success or not. It is saying it is success. Okay, now we should be able to create one more timestamp folder here. So This is a timestamp folder. Let me delete all of them and let me go here and execute. Okay, this we're able to do it, right? Now let me call the stored proc once more. Okay, it is able to execute. Now this is executing a stored proc, but stored proc internally executing this package. This package is available inside this path. Okay, so now let me go here and check. You're able to get one more timestamp folder. Are you getting? But the question is that, okay, so what is the XPCMD shell? Let us understand. Okay, we're talking about XPCMD shell. Okay, XPCMD shell is the extended stored procedure. Is available, this will get installed whenever you install SQL Server. Okay, na? So DTExec is available in C program files and Microsoft SQL Server 100 DTS bin. In this path, you should be able to get it. So F means file system deployment package, that is there in the D drive or C drive. SQ means SQL Server, that is there in the MSDB or catalogs, SSIS DB. Clear? So why are we using XPCMD shell, which is extended stored procedure? Because this DTExec, it is available in this path. Where is this path? This. Okay. But where are you currently? You are in SQL Server, right? So when you execute this command, so you're creating the stored proc and you're in the SQL Server, right? When you're in the SQL Server, but this application is available in C drive. Okay. So if you wanted to come out of the SQL Server and go to the place which is available and execute, then normal stored proc cannot come out of the SQL Server. It can work within the SQL Server by accessing these tables, right? But now this fellow is available in the C drive. The path also I had just shown. So this fellow will go to the C drive and execute this, and this fellow will have SQL code as well as C and C++ code. When we have this kind of a code, and this is what is called extended stored procedures. Okay, we have different varieties of stored procedures. So we have normal store procedures or system defined store procedures we have. Okay, system defined store procedures, this is one type. Then second type is that user defined stored procs that we have to write. System defined means you can see sp underscore uh, if you know T-SQL, you will be able to understand sp underscore help, sp underscore, help indexes, something like this. Okay. And sp underscore databases. Okay. sp underscore, you know, uh, sorry, it is not database, sp underscore help db, something like this. So when you see sp underscore, these are system defined store procedures, and all these stored procs are available in master database of SQL Server. So when you go here, there is a master database called system database called master. So here you are able to find out when you go to programmability, when you go to stored procs, a lot of stored procs are available. And see, it will start with SP. When you say SP, and all of them are system defined stored proc. So whatever the names I had given, you should be able to find them here. It is doing some work. So whenever you create anything, okay, so that is what is called the uh, system defined, and user defined whatever you create. Okay. So whatever you create, for example, I create a stored proc or get my balance. If I am using banking application, and that is what is my user defined SP. Then next one is called extended stored procs. So extended stored procs will have SQL code plus you will have C or C++ code in it. Okay, so because I wanted to come out of the SQL server and I wanted to execute something which is there in the C drive or D drive. For example, I wanted to send a mail. Send a mail means you have to come out of the SQL server, right? For example, whenever you get a problem in SQL server, I need a mail as a DBA. So how do you do that? You have to use a extended stored procedure. So the stored procedures are going to start with XP. XP means extended, and you have the stored proc name. For example, XP CMD shell. Okay, ne? So this stored proc will come and it can call any other application. This stored proc can call other small apps. Okay, now because of the reason, so we have used it. So this fellow is calling this application. Okay, this application needs these arguments and it is able to work it. Okay, xpcmd shell is a extended stored procedure. So sometimes this will be in off mode by default. Sometimes when you execute this proc and it says that xpcmd shell is in off mode, you have to make it on. So for that purpose, you may go to Google and ask for enable xpcmd shell syntax. Okay, let me show you. You to go to Google. Okay, now here uh, xpcmd enable. See, so sometimes this will be off in your system. You have to make it on before executing this. So when you click on this, you should be able to get this code. Okay, and you can simply copy. So simply copy this code and go to new query window. You have to make it on first. Okay, so configure xpcmd shell 1 means on. So click on execute this button. Okay, so when you execute, it is going to be it is already in one, so there is no problem. Sometimes it may be in off condition. When it is an off condition, so we cannot run anything. Okay, so it is an off condition. So now when I execute this, now it is saying SQL Server blocked access to procedure this one. And because, can you see the issue now? It is not able to run it. So it is clearly saying you need to enable them. A system administrator can be, enable the XPCMD shell, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I have to enable this. To enable, you have to go to SQL Server and get this XPCMD shell, make it to 1. Clear? So this is what you need to have it. That's it. So once that is done, then you will not be able to get this kind of an issues. Okay. Now it is now working fine without having any kind of an issues. Okay. So when the package is available in your SQL server, you have to use different command altogether. So, but I'm running my package which is there in the D drives. Clear? So, can I call the stored procs? For example, tomorrow I wanted to call from the .NET application. So, people may ask you, I wanted to call the SSIS package from the Java application, .NET application, SAP application. So, can I do that? The answer is yes. You can give this stored proc to them. So, they will be able to connect to company database and they should be able to call without having any issue. Or you can also give only this command. They can go to command prompt and create one batch file. Okay, so they should be able to do like this also. Fine. And call SSS package from SQL Server means definitely you have to use SQL Server means without, I don't want to create anything, but I wanted to call. So I don't want to create anything like this. Simply call like this. This is also possible. So and execute. So when you execute, the package is successful now. Okay. So you need to use this xpcmd shell and you're calling this package. Okay. So, but the problem is that tomorrow when you close this, this command will disappear. So when you keep inside the stored proc, this command gets saved. So here, so that you will be reusing the same command once again. So that is the purpose of stored procedure, right? So store procedure, when even though you close this button, nothing will happen. The command is stored under databases. Okay, anytime you can just go to company database and you should be able to get the stored procs which you have written. So that is the advantage of the stored procs. So you can just go and modify, and you should be able to see the code, complete code you should be able to see. But when I close this, it will disappear from here. Okay, but since it is there, it should be able to, you can call any time. Okay, so every time it is giving you success like that. So if you wanted to deploy the package using a DTUtil, so you should be able to give like this. So D demos, SSIS demos for online batch. Okay, so I wanted to copy from here to here. So if you wanted to copy, so these commands are useful, but these are used by DBAs, so you need not worry about them. So let me just copy and show you the command. You can execute and see once. Okay, so DTUtil. So I wanted to copy this package and I wanted to copy and to this folder. Okay, so what is the name here you wanted to have and what is the name you wanted to have? Well, you should be able to have them like this. Okay, so this is for copying from one place to another and using this utilities you should be able to copy. Okay, and apart from that, not much importance. People are not going to use the DT util, but DT exec as the utility people are going to use much and much. Okay, so this is also one more command deployed to SQL Server MSDB database only. We will not be able to store. I had given this a folder called some Kabali, something like this. I wanted to make it. So, but the end of the day, this is very old one, but not for the SSIS DB. Okay, if you wanted to deploy the packages to the MSDB database, you can use a DTUtil. So something like this, but it's old one. But and delete the package if you want to delete the package from the MSDB. So DTUtil slash equal and demo1 executes equal task slash delete space slash delete, and this command only for the packages which are available in the MSDB database. Okay, so and there are three ways to deploy the packages. One is that I can use ispack file or manifest file. So and using a command line executable called DTUtil. So you can use this, but you should be able to deploy only to the MSDB database. Remember that. Okay. Or you can copy to the file system, and you can also right click and deploy the packages. Right. So there are three ways to deploy the packages. So people may ask you this question in the interviews. Okay. Thank you guys. Any other things?